Greetings, friends. Over the last few weeks, we've been going through our mission priorities, which are designed to help us get to our vision. And our vision at St. Joseph Catholic Church will be the spiritual, moral, and social heart of Eldersburg, Sykesville, through our encounters with Jesus Christ. And we spoke, first of all, of encounter. Encounter is fundamental. And then we have the liturgy of the Mass, which is the ultimate encounter, okay? And so we work on liturgy here. And then last week we talked about being welcoming. Now, this week, our scriptures lend themselves to mission support. What is mission support? Well, that's supporting the mission with our time, treasure, and talent. Okay? Now, Jesus' parable this week is so, what is it? What kind of word can we use that? Jesus is so absolutely outrageous. Outrageous. He tells a parable about the unrighteous steward, okay? Who was embezzling his master's funds? Okay, in our culture, anybody embezzling goes to jail. Maybe back, who knows what happened to him back then? But his master said, listen, you can't work for me anymore. And so he says to himself, listen, what can I do? I can't dig ditches. I can't work with my hands, and I'm going to be destitute. So what am I going to do? So what he does is he goes to each one of his master's creditors, and he cuts them a deal with his master's money. Right? And so he's making all these friends who owe his master. Now, here's the zinger. What does the master say when he finds out about this? He says, wow, that was a very shrewd thing to do. And Jesus is teaching us something. He's saying that people in this world can be so shrewd with how they deal with what Jesus calls unrighteous mammon. And mammon, I think, is an Aramaic word that speaks to wealth, the wealth of this world. Okay, and Jesus is saying it's unrighteous. And I think what Jesus is saying, was really saying, is not that in and of itself it's not unrighteous. It's just that what we do with it and its power over us is such that, money is almost always a problem for us. It takes us in bad places. Unrighteous. It's temporal, and we tend to hold on to it as if it's eternal. You see. So he says, make friends with unrighteous money or mammon, like this guy. And when it fails, because our money will always fail us. We know we can't take money with us, right? In the next world. But can we? Your friends will receive you into eternal life. Okay? Now, this is the zinger. He's basically saying, on one level, we can buy our way into heaven. Whoa. What do you do with that? Of course, he doesn't mean that, well, I got money, I'll just pay God off somehow, maybe drop some into the church, and therefore he'll remember it. And of course, he'll receive me into heaven. That's arrogance. Um, you know, and of course that's not what he means. What he means is if we are shrewd with our money, and I would add time and talent to that, we are and can actually be preparing ourselves for heaven. We can buy our way into heaven because our investments, all of our shrewdness that the world uses to gain temporal things, we are gaining eternal things. In that way, we are buying our way into heaven. Now, we're not thinking, oh, you know, if I keep on getting closer to heaven by giving. Again, we don't want to be presumptive about this thing because we're throwing ourselves on God's grace. But Jesus is telling us that if we do give of our time, treasure, and talent, and that becomes our passion for the kingdom, then we will have friends. We'll make all sorts of friends. The community will be so much dear and near to you because of our investment. And it will all work our way to heaven through the graces that God provides for us along the way. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. So, time, treasure, and talent. We are going to be good stewards in this church. That's what we're going to do. And I'd like to say this. Watch for the cup. See you on Sunday. God bless.